Title: Tyrion's Heartbreak, How Loyalty Got Him Betrayed by Family. Welcome back, everyone, to the channel where fantasy meets strategy and nostalgia fuels our digital adventures. He was clever, he was underestimated, he drank and he knew things. But above all else, Tyrion Lannister was loyal, to his house, to his family, to the realm. And what did that loyalty earn him? Betrayal, rejection, heartbreak. Today, we dive deep into the tragedy of Tyrion Lannister, how his devotion to those closest to him led not to reward, but to destruction, and how his own family shattered his heart more than any enemy ever could. This is the story of how loyalty got Tyrion Lannister betrayed by family. A Lannister from birth, but never one of them. Tyrion was born into House Lannister, the wealthiest and most powerful family in Westeros. But from the moment he entered the world, he was cursed with rejection. His mother, Joanna Lannister, died giving birth to him. And his father, Tywin Lannister, never forgave him. To Tywin, Tyrion wasn't just a disappointment, he was a stain on the family legacy. A dwarf, a drunk, a fool. Despite being the sharpest mind in the family, Tyrion was treated like an outsider. Mocked, dismissed, humiliated. Even his sister Cersei hated him. And though his brother Jaime was kinder, even their bond was not strong enough to protect Tyrion from the scorn of his house. But here's the tragic part, Tyrion still loved them. Despite everything, he wanted their acceptance. He remained loyal to the Lannisters, even when they treated him like a mistake. That loyalty would define, and ultimately destroy, his life. A mind for strategy, a heart for family. Tyrion knew he would never be a knight. So he became something far more dangerous, a thinker. He read endlessly, studied politics, strategy, history. He understood people, how to manipulate them, how to survive in a world where his size made him a target. But he never used that brilliance to betray his family. When he served as Hand of the King to Joffrey, it was out of duty to House Lannister. When Stannis Baratheon attacked King's Landing, Tyrion organized the defense. It was his wildfire strategy that saved the city. Not Tywin's, not Cersei's, his. And yet, was he rewarded? No. When the battle was over, Tywin took all the credit, and Tyrion was pushed aside. He risked his life for his house, and once again, he was treated as disposable. The trial, loyalty met with lies. Then came the moment that changed everything, the murder of King Joffrey. Tyrion was blamed, not because of proof, but because of convenience. Cersei needed someone to punish. Tywin needed a scapegoat. And Tyrion was the easiest target. At the trial, he was betrayed by everyone. Cersei, who always despised him. Meryn Trant, a cowardly knight who twisted events. Pycelle, who lied outright. Even Shae, the woman Tyrion loved, took the stand against him. He stood there, on trial for a crime he didn't commit, surrounded by family who wanted him dead, and friends who turned on him for gold or fear. And finally, Tyrion snapped. I did not kill Joffrey, but I wish that I had. Watching your vicious bastard die gave me more relief than 1,000 lying whores. That moment wasn't just rage. It was the cry of a man who realized, no matter how loyal he had been, his family would never see his worth. The patricide, when love turns to vengeance. After escaping his death sentence, thanks to Jaime and Varys, Tyrion confronted the final betrayal, his father. He found Shae in Tywin's bed. The woman he loved, who he thought he'd protected, had been claimed by his father, the man who said Tyrion was too low to ever love a woman of class. Tyrion strangled Shae in self-defense. And then, he climbed the steps to the Tower of the Hand. There, he found Tywin, sitting on the privy. And for once, Tyrion had the power. He asked for the truth. He demanded respect. But Tywin called Shae a whore. And he called Tyrion his son, only when it suited him. So Tyrion killed him. With that crossbow, he didn't just kill Tywin, he killed the last piece of hope that he'd ever be seen as a true son. That was the final fracture. From that moment on, Tyrion was no longer a Lannister in spirit. He was a broken man. Alone, exiled, hunted. The exile, a loyal man with no one to serve. Tyrion fled Westeros, sailing across the narrow sea. But he carried his wounds with him. He drank. He brooded, he drifted, aimless, until he met Daenerys Targaryen. Here was someone with fire, purpose, and the desire to build a better world. Tyrion found renewed loyalty in her. He saw Daenerys as a leader worth following. And again, he gave her everything. His counsel, his mind, his heart. He became her hand, her voice of reason, her conscience. And for a while, it seemed like redemption. Until once again, his loyalty led to heartbreak. Daenerys. The final betrayal. Tyrion begged Daenerys to spare King's Landing. He warned her not to become what she hated. He pleaded for mercy. But she burned the city anyway. Women, children, innocents, all turned to ash under Drogon's fire. Tyrion walked through the ruins, saw the carnage, saw the city he once defended reduced to a tomb. And then, he found Jaime and Cersei, dead beneath the Red Keep. Despite everything, Tyrion still loved them. Still hoped Jaime might escape. Still believed Cersei could be something better. Now, they were gone. Crushed beneath the weight of their own dynasty. And Tyrion knew, he had followed another leader into madness. So, he made his choice. He threw away his hand's pin. He betrayed Daenerys, and in doing so, he betrayed himself. The trial. Again, history repeats. Once more, Tyrion stood in chains. Once more, he was on trial. Once more, he faced death. Except this time, it wasn't Cersei or Tywin who judged him, it was his peers. Lords and ladies of Westeros. And in that moment, Tyrion spoke the truth he had always known. Power resides where men believe it resides. He proposed Bran the Broken as king, not because of politics, but because Bran represented a break from the old world. A world that had failed Tyrion over and over again. Tyrion didn't seek power anymore. He didn't seek approval. He just wanted to stop the cycle that had destroyed him and everyone he'd ever loved. A lonely end. A life of loyalty, a legacy of loss. Bran made Tyrion Hand of the King. Not because Tyrion wanted it, but because someone had to fix the mess. And no one else understood the broken system better than Tyrion Lannister, the man it had chewed up and spit out again and again. But his heart was forever changed. He had lost his mother at birth, his father to revenge, his lover to betrayal, his brother to doomed love, his identity to exile, and his hope to fire and ash. Tyrion never truly belonged to his family. But he tried, again and again, to earn their love. He protected House Lannister when they wouldn't protect him. He remained loyal to blood that never flowed for him. In the end, Tyrion was left with duty, but not peace. A mind still sharp, a heart still broken. Why Tyrion's story hurts the most? Tyrion's story hurts because it reflects a truth we all fear. That love isn't always returned. That loyalty doesn't guarantee safety. That family can be the sharpest dagger of all. He was the underdog, the thinker, the misfit, and yet, he spent his entire life trying to prove his worth, to people who had already decided he had none. That's the tragedy, not that Tyrion failed, but that he succeeded, and was still rejected. Tyrion Lannister was the cleverest man in Westeros. He survived war, politics, exile, and dragons. But he could never survive the thing he wanted most. His family's love. His story is not about victory. It's about resilience. About choosing wisdom over revenge. Duty over desire. And still, behind the jokes, the wine, the books, Tyrion carries the weight of every betrayal. He was loyal. He was brave. He was broken. And he was never truly forgiven. Thank you for watching. If Tyrion's story moved you, if you saw parts of yourself in his tragedy, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What moment broke Tyrion the most? And do you believe he ever truly found peace? Until next time, Valar Morghulis.